Hello, Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. Hello, it has been a long time. I am sorry to have missed you guys. So my name is Olivia, or Olivia C. My channel and my handle is Long Live the Stitcher, L-I-V, not L-I-V-E, Long Live the Stitcher. A lot of people call me Liv. That is my name. This is my channel. If this is the first time you're watching, this is a channel where I talk all about my love of cross-stitching and my cross-stitch projects, and with a focus on how cross-stitching has been my therapy, has been my way of handling stress and anxiety and creating a calm mind. So if you're new, welcome. I hope that there's something here that you enjoy and that validates you and your experience. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope that you are in a comfortable chair like I am, that you have something nice to sip on like I do, and maybe, just maybe, you have some stitching in your hands. So I have a lot to share with you. So first things first, before I forget, you guys know I'm a huge craft beer fan, and today I have one of my all-time favorite craft beers that's local here. So I live in the Dallas area, and this is from the Deep Ellum Brewing Company, one of the first craft breweries that was here in Texas, and it's called the Dallas Blonde. Kind of like, you know, the stereotype of the Dallas girl with blonde hair, and you know that girl, she got a big blonde hair. So anyway, today I'm drinking the Dallas Blonde. I hope you have something nice to sip on too. Well, I really appreciate you guys joining me. So like I said, my handle is Long Live the Stitcher. I had changed it with my channel. Last time I think I was on, I had switched my handle to my name, Olivia C. And I did that because a wonderful Flosstuber and woman who's on Instagram, she goes by the handle Stitch Brat. Her name is Barb. And Barb is an absolutely caretaking person that's in this community. She's been very encouraging of me from the drop and reached out to me and said, hey, I think there's a problem with your name and it's not coming up, and shared with me kind of the issue. And I'm not a technologically savvy person, but because she flagged the issue for me, I was able to figure out that, yes, my name is wrong, and so I switched it. I then was able to switch it back after a little more digging. So, although for a brief hiatus, I was not Long Live the Stitcher, y'all, I'm back. So, back with the funky name. If you are on Instagram, you can see where I post, not daily, but definitely almost every time I get my hands on some stitching. I'm making a post on my Instagram channel, which goes by the same name, Long Live the Stitcher, L-I-V. So LONGLIVSTITCHER. That's how you can find me. So today, I got a bunch for you guys. First things first, I have some talking about the purpose of cross-stitching. We're gonna wax philosophical for a moment. I have the results, and I have notes, which is why I'm looking over here. I'll just look at them like this. I have some very quick life updates, which include some very special stitching to show you. I have the results of my mini personal January whip go, which includes, count them, 3 finishes and 1, we're getting really close to a finish, but 3 finishes, that's 3. 3 finishes I'm feeling really good about. I also have 3 new starts that are gorgeous. I have a project that I abandoned, and I just realized I forgot to grab it, so I will get it when it comes time. I have so much haul, so much haul, so much haul, so much haul that my haul is divided into non-floss haul and then floss haul. And my floss haul, I'll kind of briefly touch on how I'm organizing my floss, because I finally have nailed down, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's perfect. It is the perfect way to organize floss, at least for me. It is Olivia perfect. Yeah, so that's it. So let's jump on in, friends. So as I said, the whole purpose for me to get to cross stitching, and if you've seen me from my first video, you know that the reason I came to cross stitching is because I work in a really high stress field, and I'm just kind of wound higher than most, I guess. I'm wound tight. So I was just dealing with a lot of anxiety and found my way to a partially stitched cross stitch kit that I picked up at a garage sale. And instantly found out just how much stitching, and particularly cross stitching, is soothing. It really releases the tension. It's like as soon as I started doing it, it's like, oh, my shoulders are coming down. I was able to sleep. For me, that's one of the biggest symptoms of anxiety is I just don't sleep. I won't go to sleep very well, or I'll wake up, or I'll be in this like half awake sleep situation where your mind is reeling, but you're not sleeping. Maybe you know what it's like. I hope you don't, because it's not fun. But cross stitching has really been the way that I have found peace. So I started the past 6 weeks, well, I'll say since Christmas, life has been really stressful. Work stress, family stress, stuff we'll get to in a second. But I pretty much found myself needing to put more cross stitch in my life, not just for the purpose of making something beautiful, but for the ameliorative purpose of bringing down my cortisol levels and reducing my stress. And so in doing that, I created more stitching spaces in my life. So in my office at work, and my coworkers don't know this, but in my office at work, I created a stitching corner. And the way my office is created, you can't really see it when you come in, but I'm going to share a picture of what it looks like here. I have a chair set up next to my big, beautiful windows with my big, beautiful Dallas high-rise view. I have a plant that's right there, and I have a stitching project and all of my stitching materials. So when I'm having a stressful day, what I'll do is I'll time myself. I use the Pomodoro method, if you know what that is. It's essentially the idea of a certain amount of time of focused work, and then once you complete that focused work, you get a reward of like a 5-minute break. And then every like 2 hours that you do that really focused work with just little quick breaks in between, like to run to the bathroom or get a fresh my cup of coffee, then you get a longer break that's like 15 minutes. So what I've started doing is in that 15-minute break window, I'll take my 5 minutes to go to the bathroom or get the coffee or whatever I need to take care of myself like that. And then I go sit in my stitch corner. I set a timer for 10 minutes. And then your girl's sitting in her office, literally with my door closed, stitching and letting the stress of whatever I was just doing fade away in that 10 minutes. And folks, I'm here to tell you, it really does fade away. So I have put cross stitching literally in my workplace to help me deal with the stress. That has been a huge improvement for me. I really enjoy that. It's been a huge help. And nobody knows it's there. It's like my own little secret stress reliever right in the middle of my office. The other thing I've started doing is taking my cross stitch on the road. So if you've seen me pull out any of my projects, you know how I keep my stuff kitted up. And I'll grab one real quick right here. I use these bags to hold my kits. Real cheap, got it on Amazon. There's literally nothing fancy. So many people have like beautiful quilted stitch bags with their project bags and all this and like zipper pulls. Nah, your girl's over here with her little like $5 Amazon bag and it works great. But I take my stitching on the road, so I will pick a project that is fairly easy to take, meaning there's just not all a bunch of colors, no blended colors, things like that. And I have at the ready things that I need to take to throw in the bag, so to complete it. So instead of having like my scissors and my highlighter to mark things off or like my needle there, I have it ready, an extra set that's just ready to go. So I can go and I grab a project bag out of my project bag bin. I go and I grab my on-the-go scissors and highlighter and I make sure I have my needle ready to go with its needle minder in here. And have cross stitch will travel. I've stitched in the car just on 30-minute car trips. We recently had a lot of family in town and a lot of family events. And it was really helpful to be able to go, okay. Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? But at these family events, you know, it's like sometimes with family, you just have like downtime and everybody's just chilling together. So in those times that it was just family chilling time, I pulled out my stitching. And everybody already knows I'm a huge cross stitcher in the family, so no one was surprised by the cross stitch activities. But it was great. It was wonderful to be able to go. It didn't take a lot of planning. It didn't take a lot of, really, frankly, forethought that I maybe didn't have the mental capacity to think about. I just could grab my stitching and go out the door. So that's going to be something that I do more regularly now too. So I have put stitching in my life in a lot more ways, at work and stitching on the go. The other thing that I decided to do, just as I was thinking about stitching in my life, actually, I have to amend what I'm saying. This came about as a pure stress reaction. I had a week where I was working like crazy. One of those, like, I closed my laptop at 2 a.m. I would go sleep for a few hours. I would wake up, I would open up my laptop, and if I was really, really lucky, I could take a shower that day. It was a very, very busy time. And at one point in time, I wrapped up a project at 1 a.m. I sent it off, and then I immediately opened up 123stitch.com and just put a whole bunch of things that were on sale in my cart and checked out, and I didn't even really think about it, and it felt so good. I picked some beautiful fabrics that they had, things I hadn't used before. You're gonna see them in a second. Some supplies that I knew I needed, like a new Q-snap frame, and just bought it. And it wasn't very expensive. I think it was $20 at checkout. And it felt so good. And I went, that's right. Cross stitch and cross stitch supplies makes me feel good. And it's not a bad habit. $20 didn't cause me financial stress at this time. So I didn't cause myself a problem. And I bought something and it made me feel good, even though I had said I wasn't gonna buy any cross stitch supplies. And I thought, that's not the point of cross stitch for me. The point of cross stitch for me is doing something that alleviates my stress and anxiety and makes me happy. And if I can do it in a way that makes me happy, that doesn't cause problems by overspending or creating too much stuff in my home, then why would I not do those things? Why, Olivia, did you put rules on yourself about buying things, about starting new projects? Why create barriers to the thing that makes you feel good? So I'm here to tell you that my new 2024 resolution is not, as I told you in my last video, to not start anything until July. My new resolution is to continue to pursue cross stitch, to pursue this hobby that brings me so much joy, this hobby that brings me so much relief, in a way that is healthy and happy, and to not put artificial barriers on myself, because that's really what it is. It's an artificial barrier. I have like 10 whips, and that's kind of, it seems like a lot to me, but it doesn't cause me a problem in my life, right? I don't have so many whips that I don't have a place to put them, or it's a problem where I'm buying too much and that's a financial strain, or causing a problem with my husband and what we agree we're going to spend money on. That's not the situation. So why am I putting an artificial barrier on myself? I'm going to choose joy. I'm going to choose peace. And if that means choosing more stitching, well then by God, I'm choosing more stitching. And I hope that you do the same thing. I know from talking with a lot of you in this community and on Instagram that stitching brings you joy too. So do something that brings you joy. It's a hobby, right? This is a hobby. It's fun to set goals. It's fun to be organized that way. I think a lot of us are wired that way, to want to be organized like that. But ultimately, this comes down to a hobby, something we do at our free time and our spare time that brings us happiness and joy and peace. Lean into that. Don't make it about rules. So that's what I'm resolving to do. All right, I'm done waxing philosophical at you. So just quick life updates. Like I said, work was just madness. It's still madness, but I feel like I'm finding my way to swim in the madness. So that's not so bad. Getting over being sick. You can hear the frog in my throat. Hopefully I won't have to cough, but I have cough drops if I do, so we'll be all right. But the biggest thing that happened was we had a death in my family. My wonderful mother-in-law passed away. It wasn't a complete surprise, but I don't know that anyone's ever ready for it. And this was my first time dealing with the death of a very close family member like that. She was a truly beautiful woman. Love personified. as we were helping my father-in-law kind of go through the house and clean things up, one of the family members found actually a piece of stitching that she did. Now I'm gonna share with you guys. And forgive me if I get a little verklempt. That's how we in the South say, a little choked up. But this is a cross-stitch project that she had done. I had no idea that she ever stitched. Look at this. So hopefully you can read it. It says, kitchen closed because of illness. I am sick of cooking. It cracks me up. So this is easily a 1960s, 1970s piece of work. And that would be about the time. She was starting her family in the 60s and in the mid 70s. And I could see her getting into this. And I love it, not only because it's in all of its like 60s color glory, but because it bears the marks of someone who is learning to stitch. So it's on linen. It looks like a 28 count, so it's a pretty loose weave linen. There are some embroidered stitches on there. Maybe you can see a little bit. But she also does that thing that a lot of new cross stitchers do, where they don't start the stitch in the same thread hole that the last stitch ended in. So there's randomly one strand of fabric thread in between her cross stitches. I'll hold it up, maybe you can see a little bit. And I just absolutely love the humanity of her that's kept in this. So I had to share it with you guys. All right, enough of that. Oh my goodness, y'all. Well, in January, I resolved to have my own little whip go. And I use that term very loosely, mostly just because I like to say whip go. It's just fun, whip go. But idea was I had a bunch of little projects that I wanted to just push over the finish line, see what I could do. I had 4 little projects I wanted to push over the line, and I finished 3. So first things first, here are those finishes. This one, you guys, is that original cross-stitch project I picked up at that garage sale. The moment that stitching became my love, my first cross-stitch ever, I finished it up. Back-stitching and everything. Check it out. It says, friend, you keep me in stitches. And this is the very first stitching I ever did. I'm so glad it's done. I don't know what I'm gonna do to finish it, but I'm gonna do something. I think there's a couple little mistakes in here, probably. You know what, we're not even gonna point them out. They're here somewhere, but I'll just put it up here so you guys can really see. I just thought the colors were really pretty. Made me think of my best friend too, who's just hilarious. We always get each other laughing. We always joke that when we get together, we laugh and we cry. That's just who we are. Anyway, so there's my friend, you keep me in stitches. First stitching ever. No idea what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna frame that one. There's gonna be some kind of finish to it so I can keep it around. The next one up that I finished was my, now I've gotta figure out where to put everything. Y'all, what do you do? Too much stuff. All right, we're gonna start piling there. Excuse me. So the next one up was when I figured out that cross-stitching was my panacea to all things stress. I purchased my first kit. I think I found it on Amazon. One of those not good quality, just, I got it because it was pretty. But this was the original pattern. See if I can get it without the glare. But it says, you are stronger than you know. And I just absolutely fell for those colors. This is it, complete. Without pressing or washing off my not really water soluble marker that I used, unfortunately. This is it. I just think that the colors are really beautiful and they're coming through pretty well. They're a little more vibrant than what you're seeing here. But like this flower up here in the corner, I'm just about it. Plus, I absolutely love the sentiment. You are stronger than you know. Not entirely sure what I'm gonna do with this one. This was the piece I really didn't want to finish. The kit came with its own floss. It's not DMC. I'm pretty sure this is just some cruddy 14 count Aida. It's not even good stuff. So this wasn't exactly like a joy to stitch on now that I know what better quality is like, but I still like it. I still think it's beautiful and I still dig the message. So there's my You're Stronger Than You Know. There you go. Hopefully you can see it. There we go. That's better. Okay. Last but not least, my third finish was something I started over the summer. It was my bees project. It was from Just Cross Stitch magazine. And the set came with these 3 different patterns. And I did this one up here. And I finished everything, even the back stitching. Check it out. Aren't those bees adorable? I literally can't even with these guys. Look at that. So I stitched this with the called for DMC, and I stitched it on a piece of scrap Aida that I got at my favorite reused craft store that came in a big patch. I'm pretty sure it's 16 count Aida. And this kind of like oatmeal, modelly oatmeal color. It's really beautiful. Looks just really homespun to me, and I love that. So yeah, here it is. I am going to finish it as a bookmark. I've made a bunch of bookmarks. You may have seen the video where I talked about the bookmarks for my coworkers, and learned a lot about finishing those things there. And now it's time to make me one. So it's gonna be like that. Isn't that cute? The bees. And I still left everything kitted up because I plan on doing the other 2. So we've got this one down here that says, what does it say, be happy? Yeah, be happy. And then this here with that cute little bee and his honey pot and the flower. Love them. So yeah, there's the bees. I finished the bees. Hopefully get it to a fully finish before too long. But we'll see. I may have to make like a month's focus of like really finishing objects. Because at this point in time, the under the bed box pile has, I think, 5 different things in it. So it's time to get stitching in places it can be seen and on display. So those were my 3 finishes. And then the one that I got a lot of work on but didn't get over the line to a finish was my May Morris flower pot. This is charted by Annette Schwartzmiller. And here it is. I just love, love, love these colors. So if you've seen an earlier video, you remember that this is actually quite a mistake. The mistake is that this is the upper corner and it should be spreading out this way and this way, but I folded up my fabric in my Q-snap, flipped my Q-snap around and got just completely lost. So it's stitched going the wrong way. So at the suggestion of multiple wonderful people in the comments, seriously, you guys are awesome. I am finishing out just this section. I'm going to go down here and it is going to be finished just like this. I stitched a lot of this when I was in England in September, and I'm going to do something with it that helps commemorate the memory of where those stitches were placed. I absolutely fell in love with England when I was there. And I'd like to do something to commemorate the stitching that I loved while I was there. So this is May Morris Flower Pots charted by Annette Schwartzmiller. I bought it on her Etsy page. Stitched with the called for DMC on, I believe this is 14 count. Oh, I have it right here. 16 count. It is 16 count Aida in antique white, and I got it from 123 Stitch. As so many wonderful things are. So yeah, there is progress on that one. I'm hoping to finish that one off probably. I probably won't finish it this month, but maybe in March. That might be a March finish. All right, so now that we've gone through my finishes, let's talk about starts. And I'm gonna actually pause it real quick to go grab the project I forgot. Pause, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, sorry about that. I wanted to grab the project that I mentioned. I have a project that I am abandoning. So I started a stitch along that was put out by Forbidden Fiber Co. Love their products, love their work, love their charts. And they had a mystery sal that was gonna be all about Gilmore Girls, the TV show. I love Gilmore Girls, grew up watching it and trying to watch it as much as I could. So I instantly signed up for it, was super excited. The sal is still going on, but I think more than half of the charts have been released. It was a weekly release. And a couple other people I know are doing it, like Julie's Stitching Journey, and a couple other people I'm following on Instagram. But I stitched the first block, and I'll show you because I didn't finish that. There it is. It's got that pretty picture border, and then it says Cat Kirk, and it's a reference to something in the show. Sorry, I got a cough drop, guys. And the rest of it's supposed to be like a whole bunch of other picture blocks that would come out. And every single one that's come out since then is not something that I like. It's not something from the show that I connected with, something that I appreciated. So there's nothing that really grabbed me. Also, I learned that I absolutely hate the monotony of stitching border after border after border after border, and every single one was going to have these extra blocks that went with it. And I went, you know what? This does not spark joy. This does not make me happy. I'm not going to do it anymore. So I am abandoning this project. I am going to rip out these stitches from this wonderful cream colored Aida that I have. And I'm going to use this fabric and this wonderful stand, or sorry, not stand, this scroll rod frame for something else. Because even though I started something, and your girl's not a quitter, don't like to stop something, it's not making me happy. And if it's not making me happy and it's not creating something that I look at and absolutely love, why am I doing it? I'm going to do something else. So that's the plan. Love Forbidden Fiber Co., but that sal just not speaking to me. So I'm going to abandon it. And I started 3 new projects. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but remember, no arbitrary rules. I went for things that made me happy and brought me joy. So this comes from either just Cross Stitch Magazine or a Cross Stitch magazine that I found that's based out of the UK that's called The World of Cross Stitch. And I online subscribe to that one through an app. Their app, it's on my phone. So I'll put up pictures with each of the patterns here because I don't have a nice pretty color printout. So first thing is first. I am so excited about this one. I abandoned my Gilmore Girls sal, but never you fear, I picked up a new sal. So this is the World of Cross Stitch, the UK magazine's Stitch Along for the whole year. And it's a stitchy themed one designed by the wonderful Doreen Jones. I have stitched some of her other patterns before, and she is a master of color. Her patterns are so vibrant. So this is the first block. This was January. I got a 1-line start on February's block. March has already come out, so I'm a little behind, but this is all done except for the white, and then of course it needs to be the back stitching in there. And I am enjoying this so much. Just those colors are absolutely beautiful. It is a very vibrant piece, and that is exactly her work. She just does vibrant things. I am using all of the called for DMC threads, and I am stitching for the first time on even weave. So this is a, it's not pure white, I'd say it's just a little off-white even weave. I believe this is a 28 count. It might be 32. I should have written it down. Either 28 or 32 count even weave that I got from my local LNS. It is so soft to the touch and absolutely perfect for this project. It looks great. So much fun to stitch on too. I've become a big even weave fan. So yes, this is my Doreen Jones World of Cross Stitch sal. You'll be seeing much more of that in the coming weeks and months. Hopefully, I would really love to have that done this year. We'll see. So next up is my second new start. This is the pattern called Hello Winter. that I got out of Just Cross Stitch magazine. This was my Happy Mail. See if I can get it without the glare. There we go. It says, "Hello, Winter," with those cute birds. Look at that. Those cutie little birds with their color. I just absolutely love their orange chests mixed in with the green of the evergreen bough that they're on. Absolutely beautiful. I saw it in the magazine and went, oh my God, that's gorgeous. I need to make a note to remember to stitch this. And then I saw on Just Cross Stitch Instagram, they had a picture of the stitched up version. And I went, oh my God, that's just so beautiful. And I had the immediate thought of, Olivia, why are you trying to create a system to remember this pattern that you want to do in the future when you could just start stitching it and have it in your whips and you won't forget it and you'll have the fun of doing it right now? Duh. So that's what I did. You ready to see? So this is so far where I'm at. So this is that branch right here. That's one of the little pine cones, and this is going to be the bottom of one of those cute little birds. Just gorgeous. You can kind of see like the snow. And these colors are just so beautifully blended together. They're just, the gradient is really nice. So the designer of this gorgeous pattern, her name is Anna Matveeva. We're going to say that. Her name is Anna Matveeva, and her business is Mr. Stitch and Mrs. Needle. And this is absolutely beautiful. So I am stitching this on a piece that I also got at my local LNS. It is a 28 count Lumiere Graceful Gray. It is a linen, but it's a very stiff linen. Yeah, it's different. I haven't stitched anything like this before, but guys, this is the first non-white or off-white fabric I've ever used. Who knew? It's this very, very light blue, which is what they had in the, like a light gray is what they had in the picture. And I knew that this light blue, light gray color looks really good, looks real sharp. So that is my Hello Winter. Gorgeous. I've really been enjoying stitching on this one. And then my last new start is also from Just Cross Stitch magazine. No, sorry, it's from World of Cross Stitch magazine, our British cohort over there. And this is called the Winter Sampler. This is what it looks like. And this is as far as I've gotten. It's a healthy little start. That is the ice of the ice skating rink surrounded by snow. These are the legs of the little figure skaters that are out skating. And it's absolutely beautiful. I am stitching this with the called for DMC, 2 floss threads over 2 fabric threads. And this fabric is again an even weave. This is a 32 count Lugana in anthracite. This is one of those that I purchased that stressful evening on 123 Stitch for a really good deal. It's again, you notice this isn't white. I am stitching on this really, it's really like a deep gray blue. I hope the color is coming through really well. I think it is. Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. The color family that goes with this is just gorgeous. So I am loving my wintry themed stitches. In Texas, for all my fellow North Texans, we're not having much of a winter this year. It is way too warm, but I am keeping snow in my heart by stitching some wintry themed things. It's also nice having winter things that aren't holiday themed. You know, enjoy the 3 months of winter that aren't the holidays. Okay, so those are my new starts. I've got a bunch of pictures that you can see on Instagram of those that'll be coming out soon. I'll start showing them around now that I've showed you guys. You guys gotta get it here first. Haul. I'm gonna fly through haul because your girl did some stress buying. I did some stress buying, but with the caveat of everything that I purchased was not financially in excess, nor was it a space-wise excess. Didn't cause any problems, and I will use it all. So I'm gonna go kind of quickly through the haul. If you have a question about anything, drop it in the chat. I am happy to chat more about it if you'd like to see something, if you'd like a link to something. So I bought a lot of fabric. The fabrics that were started, all 3 of my new starts were on 3 new fabrics that I purchased. I also purchased 2 of the Charles Craft rolls. So these are the 28 count linens. I've used this for another project that I'm working on right now, my C project. And I like it. The Charles Craft is really quality stuff. So I was happy to get this. This one is just an off-white linen color. And then this one is a kind of like a baby blue. So we'll see what I do with this baby blue. I don't have anything in mind for those. They're just ready to pull out the next time I have something going on. Also, a stretch for me is this piece of linen. So this is it is Country Mocha linen. I got it from 123 Stitch. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Vintage Country Mocha, Edinburgh 36 count linen. I'll show this side so you don't see a sticker. But it's just really beautiful fabric. Oh, something that I forgot about 123 Stitch when you buy it, it comes serged already. Those ends are ready to roll. What a deal. They're such a wonderful company. If you don't know about 123stitch.com, you really should. They're great. All the things that I purchased aside from floss were either from 123 Stitch, or from my local LNS, which here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, my favorite one is Creative Stitches and Gifts up in North Dallas. And as I was walking around Creative Stitches and Gifts, I just saw floss hanging and I just bought it because it was so gorgeous. I literally just got this one hank. It's called, what is this brand? Oh, it's Caron, C-A-R-O-N, called Wildflowers. And this particular dye is called Evergreen. And it's really kind of this shimmery blue-green. It makes me think of the sea or like a mermaid's tail. Just beautiful. I literally have no idea what I'm going to do with this. Maybe a monochromatic piece. I haven't done one of those before. But it was just so beautiful, I had to buy it. Just gorgeous. So if you have an idea of something to do with one hank from like a monochromatic piece, something like that, let me know. I'm open for it. I also went to my favorite craft reuse store that's up in Denton and found some partial projects. We'll see. So I got this. It is a navy blue Aida, like really navy. It is a deep 16 count, which is my favorite. I like 16 count. It's white chalk. So yeah, gonna be using some more stitching on colored fabrics. And then this was a partial project, but inside this partial project is a really nice cream linen. It looks like maybe a 28 count linen. Just really pretty. It's a nice big piece of it too. So I thought for $2.50, that's a deal. I might not stitch the actual project in it, but I wanted to keep it. I also bought a ton of needle minders. I use a lot of needle minders in the way that I park threads on my big Scarlet Quince Lady and the Unicorn, which if you've seen that episode or you've seen pictures on Instagram, you know that my parking is insane. And I use like little magnetic clips to roll up my threads, my parked threads. So those little magnetic clips need needle minders to clip to keep it from being just a crazy mess. I have run out of needle minders. I like to keep a needle minder on all my projects, so I have a needle with all of my projects. I just ran out. And I kept running into needle minders. Like if you're looking at buying like 6 needle minders and they're, $10 a pop, that was out of my price range. I couldn't do that. But I found this person on Etsy. And I say this person, her store is called, let me make sure I get this right, Don't Step on Your Needle. Don't Step on the Needle. She's out of the UK. And had such a good deal on all of her needle minders that I got 12. And I'm just gonna throw them up here. We'll see if you can see them without the glare. Little bit. That's not great. I'm not gonna take them out of plastic. That's gonna take too long. But there are these little, it's a cat. We've got a bunny and a moon. I've got the goose with the knife from the meme, peace was never an option, which makes me laugh every time I see it. This is a gorgeous, just like maple leaf. I got these two that are on this gorgeous blue koi ponds. And I have to say the quality of every single one of these has been awesome. They are all really strong needle or really strong magnets in the back of them. They're all large. The magnetism goes through to the front. I have this owl. I have one that I'm going to show you that has a bad word on it. So if you don't want to see it, close your eyes. Makes me laugh. I like it so much. I have another cute little bunny. And this is just pretty colors. I liked it. Just pretty. She threw this one in for free, which is this cute little, it's wooden. And there's these little ghosts. Let's see, it's the wrong way. There we go. Little ghosts in the woods. Just cute. Cute as hell. Then that's the rose from Beauty and the Beast, the enchanted rose. And then lastly, my new motto. This, you can't see it very well, but it's a big square one and it says, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy floss and fabric, and that is pretty close. So, I purchased a lot of things because I couldn't buy happiness, but I can buy floss and I can buy fabric, and guys, that's pretty close. I also got some needles. These are really just cute. They're very colorful needles in the sizes that I needed. I needed a bunch of really small ones, size 26 and 28, which is tiny, and that's what I needed. Oh, and she was so sweet. She threw in a lollipop. How about that? So that is Don't Step on Your Needle. Cannot advocate for them much. You gotta check her out. Her stuff was so great. Such a good deal. It took a little while to get through customs to go from the UK to here. Worth the wait. I say little while. I think it was 12 days. Nothing. Cross the Atlantic. What the pilgrims have to do. Way worse. All right. Last but not least, floss. I kind of got in this obsessive mode of wanting to fully complete my DMC floss collection. I thought I had almost all the flosses and was like, oh, I just need a little bit to complete it. No. I had, when I started this month, probably 250 colors. 250 is a lot. There are over 500 DMC colors that are in active rotation. So I just kind of went and purchased I went to my local Michaels and picked up, I went to Michaels because I had a really good coupon. And just I grabbed every color of floss I didn't already have. And while I was standing there in the aisle, I could tell what flosses I had and didn't have because I found this great app that is a great floss stash organizer. I'm gonna put a screenshot here of what the app looks like. I think it's called Thread Away. I could be getting it wrong, but it's extremely helpful. Really, I paid for, it was I think a $5 subscription for the year. If you wanted to pay for just lifetime, I think it's $25. And it's updated list of all types of floss, not just DMC. So they have Anchor, they have other brands there as well. And I can go through and check off every single kind of floss that I have. I can make a shopping list of flosses that I need. And I can also, you can in fact keep track of how much floss you have of this one particular, like instead of just saying, oh, I have one skein of this, you can say, oh, I have a half skein, or I have this much length left, so I'll need X number of flosses to complete a project or something like that. It's a great app. So I stood in the Michaels aisle for a long time with my great app, and I purchased a lot of floss. I'm gonna show you just a little bit of the floss. Just literally like, it's handfuls of it. I got handfuls of floss. And we are so lucky here in the US. It's so cheap. is so cheap. And then I had this great Michael's coupon, so I didn't even pay full price for these puppies. So this is just the floss that I ran out of floss away bags to store. Just really quickly, the way I'm doing this is I have a floss away bag, just a little bag like this. I cut an index card, just a little shorter than they come so that it fits inside of the floss away bag. I write in really big letters, really big writing, I should say, the numbers, the DMC number of this. I do not write it on the front of the bag. So that way this bag is now interchangeable for whatever color I might need. So I put the card in the bag, and then I put the floss in the bag. There is no bobbinating. There is no fooling with anything. If I pull out a little bit of strand, I can just wind up on my hand the little bit that's left over and then stick it down inside the bag. And the finished product of that organization looks like this. So there it is. There's all my beautiful floss and their little floss away bags. I have now, I think, 380 colors, and this is how I have them organized. I got these little bins. I also got these at Michael's. They, I think, for $4 each. I have 5 now, and this is how I keep all my little bags. Just in there like that. Easy to pull out, easy to see, easy to grab. So yeah, this is how I have my floss stored. At this point in time, I have almost every single color I will ever need, and frankly, enough quantity of it that I might not be buying much more floss DMC for a very long time, which is great. I really wanted the ability to go into my little craft area and be able to grab fabric, grab floss, and kit up something immediately if I wanted to try and do it. Because for me, it is so much easier to have a whip, have a kitted up whip ready to go that I can stitch on a little bit than to try and remember that I really wanted to work on a pattern. When I see something that's beautiful and it speaks to me, I don't have to wait. I can go, I can make something beautiful. And that's what it's all about. Let's make something beautiful. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. Thank you so much for sticking with me and for sticking with me throughout all of this time. I've been doing Flosstube now for almost 6 months, and this community and its support is absolutely lovely. So I'm here saying thank you and giving that same support and love right back. Just as much as we make beautiful things with fabric and with floss, we can make beautiful things with the people around us and with creating community, even online. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at LongLiveTheStitcher. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.